Hello, this is Nick from Prestman Auto doing a video walkthrough of our 2023 Subaru Outback. This is the Onyx Edition. So what I'm going to do is we're going to walk all the way around. We're going to check for any dents, scratches, any kind of blemishes in the outside. Then we're going to go inside, go over some of the features, make sure everything's, working properly. And then finally we'll pop the hood so we can evaluate just a little bit in the engine bay, just for good measure. So first impressions, we can thank Utah for the rain. It's constantly raining, so it's a little bit dirty, but that's a pretty easy fix. If I do see any blemishes in the outside, I'll be sure to stop, zoom in, make sure you get a good visual so you know exactly what's going on. But starting off, I'm not seeing really anything. It looks great. So normally you'd expect to see a little bit of rock chipping up here in the front, just because that's usually where it is. But I'm not seeing anything. So starting off with this clean 10 out of 10. Tires on here are in great condition. You got loads of life left in those. Not a super big surprise since it's such low miles, but it's good to know nonetheless. Looks like you have a very small scratch right in there. So it's not really catching my finger, so you can probably just buff it out. But good to know nonetheless. Good to know, good to know. All right. Well, as far as the exterior goes, it looks really, really good. So while we're out here, let's take a quick look around some of our lot. So this is maybe 30% of our cars. We got more over on the other side, and then we also just bought up a little bit of new land. So we sell more cars here than any independent dealer in the state. We've been around for over 30 years, which isn't like super important to know, but I feel like when you're buying from out of state, it's nice to know a little bit about who you're working with, kind of a little more reputable. Anyway, let's check out the interior. So what we're going to do is, first of all, I'm going to turn the car on, obviously, but when I turn it on, I'm going to leave the camera up here on the dash. That way, if there's any kind of warning lights or anything weird popping up, you'll be the first to know. So let's check it out. All right. So you got two warning lights up here. First is seatbelt light, which is, correct. And the second is the parking brake light, which is also correct. So other than that, everything here looks super solid. Let's cycle through a couple things real quick, just for good measure. Cool. So as far as interior features go, you have a lot of them. So I'm gonna go a little bit fast just for the sake of time. Up here, you're gonna have your paddle shifters, which are a ton of fun. I really like the paddle shifters. You're also gonna have your adaptive cruise control, as well as a couple of things for your trunk and whatnot over there, and just some basic controls. Over here is going to be where you're gonna have most everything. So first of all, let's make sure your AC is blowing. It is blowing, and it is blowing cold. Everyone always asks that, like, is it cold? I'm like, yes, it's cold. So one other thing everyone always asks is, does the car smell like smoke? Does it seem like anyone smoked a cigarette in here? No, it does not. You're good to go there as well. But up top here, you're going to have your maps, your radio. You can connect your phone to it. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have a bunch of car info on this one as well. But what the most fun stuff is on this button right here. So up here, you're going to have your X mode, which you have a few different options for that. You have X mode. Here's your cruise control acceleration, your steering responsive headlights, auto vehicle hold, auto stop start. I'm not gonna just sit here and ramble stuff off, but like all of the fancy, cool, like self-driving, like the reasons why people like these cars, it's right here. So all the really cool, fun stuff right there. You're also going to have heated seats up here, which is I'm not going to be using because it's really hot. Are also up there. And then obviously you have a couple more things to play with, valet mode and on and on. So down here, you're going to have your plugins as well as a little bit of extra space. And then here you got a couple more, one more plug-in and a little bit of extra space in there too. So up top, you're going to have a beautiful sunroof, which is, okay, I'll be honest, a sunroof is not the most useful feature in the world. It's just not. but they're really cool. Like, I like sunroofs a lot. As far as interior condition goes, it's really good. I'm not seeing any dents, any tears, any rips, any stains, any discoloration, really anything. It looks fantastic. So anyway, we can go over features all day, but for the sake of time, we'll probably call that there. Let's pop the hood in the engine bay. We'll check that out real quick, and that should be good 4-hour video. All right, so I don't know how mechanically inclined you are or aren't, but regardless of how much you know about vehicles, you should always look under the hood of any vehicle you're looking to buy. The reason being, even if you don't know anything that's under here, you at least know what neglect looks like. So if you've got a bunch of acid buildup all around the battery, if all your metal pieces are brown and covered in rust, and you got like spider webs and junk all over everything, then I'd probably ask some more questions at that point. That being said, this looks great. Battery's in great repair, looks brand new. All your metal pieces are still silver, so that's good. There's really not even dust on it, so very, very nice. If you are mechanically inclined, we can go into a little bit more detail, but we'll keep this video pretty user-friendly for now. Suffice to say, when you pop the hood of an engine bay, this is exactly what you want to see. So if you have any more questions, or there's anything that I missed that you'd like to see, just let me know. I'm happy to show you anything on here. But for now, this is your new ride.